things about that. And
there are scandalous things to be said about him. That's for sure.
Can you give an example? I mean, I wasn't on the show where Matt talked about Billy Graham. Can you? I'm sure I listened to it, but can you remind me what specifically he said?
Like good riddance. I can't take out word for word exactly what he said, but pretty much that was kind of the feel.
Okay, I would not be surprised if people said the same thing about Christopher Hitchens. I know that they feel that way about him.
Well, honestly, myself, when that was said about Billy Graham, I didn't care. I thought that was kind of funny, but people are saying that about Christopher Hitchens, and I'm offended. And, it's kind of a little bit of hypocrisy. Is that okay to be hypocritical? Should there be a double standard when it's my guys versus their guys?
Well, I mean,
it might be human nature.
It's not, I mean, it's not so much whether it's okay. I mean, it's going to happen no matter what. People have their preferences, and, it might piss me off if people talk badly about Richard Dawkins or Christopher Hitchens, although, I talk bad about them sometimes too if they say something I don't like. I wouldn't say good riddance if he died, because I like the guy mostly.
I think the most important thing is what's being said true, and if something is being said or made up or whatever, like very often when someone dies who was questionable believer or non-believer, there's these myths that get circulated that there was a deathbed confession and they gave their life to Jesus at the last moment and all that, and that's just really annoying to me to have. It's a way of stealing credit through lies of this person's work or whatever, their beliefs or their stance or whatever they stood for. And I just really hate that sort of thing. So if what is being said is the truth, I don't think there can be any complaint, right?
Now, I remember an editorial being written, and I can't remember the details right now, but it was something like, God is doing a great thing by giving Christopher Hitchens cancer because it's going to bring him
to Jesus.
It's going to make him realize the error of his ways.
Yeah.
And I think P.Z. Myers has a term for people who write like that. He calls them contemptible ghouls because they are sort of using the opportunity to
capitalize on somebody else's pain.
Capitalize on somebody else's pain, whereas I think saying good riddance about Billy Graham, it's kind of a jerky thing to say, but but that doesn't mean that Matt can't say it, and he may even be justified in saying that. But it's a whole nother category to sort of to sort of lie about the outcome of this sort of thing, to come up with something similar to the Darwin Lady Hope story, where you say, oh, he actually converted on his deathbed, when he didn't. They said the same thing about Gould, didn't they?
Oh, it's a popular thing. It's been used a lot.
Yeah, the idea of an atheist vindicating your beliefs by converting them to at the last minute in secret to one eyewitness is a very popular theme in Christian fiction.
Right.
And
Christianity.
I'm not saying it can't happen, and I would say, in fact, that even if Christopher Hitchens, at the last moment of his life, said, "Oh my God, how could I have been so blind all along? Jesus is the one true God." That doesn't mean that atheists would take him seriously, because I don't think that atheists do or should bring one guy, elevate one guy as the spokesperson, as the one arbiter of truth.
We're not followers. We come to our own conclusions.
Right. There isn't an atheist pope.
And if somebody changes their mind, well, maybe they know some facts, or maybe they're made a mistake or whatever. That's sort of that's a separate issue to how we're going to make decisions, right?
Yeah. Look at the reaction to Antony Flew.
Right.
I mean, Antony Flew is seemingly a genuine
atheist
case, where he actually changed his mind when he got old. And who jumped all over this story? It wasn't a bunch of atheists converting en masse because they worshipped Antony Flew. It was a bunch of Christians saying, see, this just proves that we're right. In the atheist community, it was like, wow, what made him think that? And in my case, Antony who?
Yeah, I didn't know him. But the big irony there is that Antony Flew converted to deism and denied Christianity, but the Christians are promoting it. Oh, we're right, you know. It's like, no, you need to understand what he's talking about.
Well,
Right.
if you're
It's
gonna,
pure propaganda.
If you're going to buy into Pascal's wager, wouldn't that be the best time to, you know, right at the very end, last second?
Oh yeah, hedging your bets.
Well, that's
Yeah,
supposedly
exactly.
what Constantine did, is that he decided that it was too risky to convert to Christianity before he was on his deathbed because he might sin. And if you converted at the very end, you get all the goodies, supposedly, right? So
Right.
so it was
Very
very
common
calculated.
back in the day to get baptized right before you die.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing, I guess.
Right. Jack Chick, one of my favorite Chick tracks, was about the gunslinger who's, you know, this evil mustachioed guy, and he, you know, murders a bunch of people, and then at the end he winds up having a last-minute conversion just like that. And the sheriff, who is presented as a good law-abiding citizen, goes to hell after a snake scares his horse or something. And this is the way things work in the fictional Jack Chick universe. And then at the end of the tract, it says, "Now get down on your knees and say, you know, Jesus, come into my heart." So, you know, I read a Jack Chick tract once, and I said, okay. Got down on my knees, said, "Jesus, come into my heart." Got back up, continued doing an atheist show. So I'm covered. As far as Pascal's wager goes, I can be an atheist all I want.
Right then, or did he want you to kill a bunch of people and then go down on your knees?
Well, that wasn't the advice in the tract.
Oh. Well, then
Yeah.
it's unclear. I think he should, you know, be a little clearer in his message.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's all pretty silly, so I wouldn't have even done that, Russell. But
Well, I mean, I figure as far as
we
Pascal's
need just
wager
to make the
goes,
audience aware that this was a tongue-in-cheek thing, right?
Yeah, it was tongue-in-cheek.
Okay.
At no point in this...
We don't take it that seriously.
Yeah, at no point in this did I actually, you know, think that this was doing anything
Right.
except for a laugh.
Right. Anyway. Okay, Ben,
All
anything
right.
else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot for calling.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, so we have somebody on topic. How about that?
Okay.
Peter in Poland wants to talk about Christian buzzwords.
Okay, hey.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi,
Poznan,
how are
huh?
you?
How are you all doing?
Good.
Fine.
I know some folks there in Poznan.
Yeah, you're our longest
Actually,
distance
I'm
caller
not from
today.
Poznan, but the guy who puts the location of the callers over there wanted me to give a name of a city that's relatively close to mine, and a city that would be big enough to be identifiable and the
I
name to be
see.
pronounceable.
So
I
it's
just
close,
gave that
close
name.
enough.
So
Close
you're
enough for TV.
approximately in
Anyway,
Poznan.
the topic that I wanted to address, since, as you most probably know, according to the statistics, most people in Poland are Catholics, but the statistics really only mention the fact that they are Christed, so I doubt if they count the fact that someone might not attend church after the communion, or like me, for example, that I never really bothered to fill out the apostasy papers. Anyway, the topic.
That's a common thing here.
One of their most favorite the most favorite words they have, they use to say that abortion is murder. They are usually equated to like you would murder a person, and they actually have a special exposition where they ride around Poland, and they have pictures of Hitler, so there goes Godwin's law, and pictures of aborted fetuses, of late-term abortions, very bloody pictures, and they place them usually in city centers. So, for example, there's a city called Lublin, and they placed it in the center, and young children could see this, and the point of this was obviously to shock people into thinking that every abortion looks like this. So when you take, for example, the next day pill, then this is what comes out of you.
Yeah,
And,
it's kind of very manipulative,
Happens
isn't it?
here too.
It's very manipulative.
You know, abortion is a medical procedure, and a lot of medical procedures are pretty gross. I mean, I bet if you would put up a picture of open heart surgery in a town
Or
square
cancer
also,
extraction or anything like that.
it would be pretty disgusting.